All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the garage. This is my 2022 Tesla Model Y long range. I've had this for about just over a year now. This has the 20-inch rims. These are an upgraded option on the long range version, the black 20-inch wheels. I want to talk about wheels and tires and why it's a good idea to have a spare wheel and tire for your car. Now, Teslas do not come with any kind of spare tire at all. And over the last year that I've had this car and about 12 to 13,000 miles, I have had some tire issues where I've had to get this tire fixed. Now, luckily, it was just like a screw right in the middle of the tread, and I was able to get repaired fine. So that was no issues. But there can be a situation where you get a puncture or damage to the sidewall of the tire, and you're going to have to replace the whole tire. Also, in the rare instance that you have a crack to your rim, let's say you hit a really hard pothole, you crack your rim, that's going to leave you kind of high and dry without a car for a while until you find a solution for that. Now, one of the reasons you want to have a spare wheel and tire on hand for your car is because if you take your car to the local tire shop, they're most likely not going to have your tire size. These Teslas come with lower profile tires. A lot of these tires are not kept in stock. They're not that common of sizes. Tire stores these days don't keep a lot of tires in stock anyways, and the ones they do are very common sizes, and usually they're not these sizes here. So therefore, if they do have any stock, you're subject to paying whatever the price that is, and it may not even be the same tire or brand that you have on there. Now, this happened with me back about a year and a half with my Model S. I have two Teslas. My Model S had a big shard of metal right into the sidewall that was not repairable. I didn't have a spare tire, a spare rim. I didn't even have any fix-a-flat in my car to really get it somewhere, so I was really stranded in that case. I had to wait almost 4 days for the tire store to order the new tire, get it in, get it installed, and I wasn't able to use my car for 4 days. And that was a big inconvenience. Well, after that, for my Model S, I have a full set of wheels and tires extra that I keep for the car. Well, now it's time to do the same thing for my Model Y as well. All right, at very minimum, you want to have at least these two items inside your car at all times. I keep these down inside the rear cargo compartment. This is Fix-A-Flat. This is just a solution that you pump into the tire if you have a flat. It's going to help seal off the puncture, and you're going to be able to at least get somewhere, because there's no spare tire option. So it's going to help you from being stuck on the side of the road. And secondly, this is a little small portable air compressor. I featured a couple of these on the channel in the past, but it's smart to have one of these. That way you can, if you put some Fix-A-Flat in your tire, you can then pump your tire up, hopefully get home or get to the tire store, and you don't have to worry about waiting for a tow or being severely inconvenienced. So having at least this is probably the bare minimum you want to have in your car. All right, guys, the other thing I'd really highly recommend having, at least if you're not going to have anything else, have the Fix-A-Flat, the air compressor, and then have a spare tire for your car that is the same size as your tire that will fit on your car. The reason I say this is because let's say in a situation where you have a puncture if you have a puncture on these side shoulders of the wheel, like a nail or a screw through here, that is not repairable. A tire store will tell you have to replace that tire. If you have any kind of damage to the sidewall, that has to be replaced. If you hit a rim, if you hit a curb and you take a chunk of rubber out of here, that has to be replaced. So there's going to be a situation where your tire is going to have to be replaced. And if you have a spare tire on hand, it doesn't have to be a new one. This is my spare tire for my Model S. This is a 21-inch wheel. If you have a spare tire on hand, you're not stranded if something happens. You can take this, you can put this tire in the back of your car, take it to the tire store and say, hey, you told me I needed my tire replaced. I already have a spare. Throw this on for me, and you're set. You can use this for a couple weeks or something until you find a new one or a new tire. And that way, you're not having to buy a brand new tire. You're not having to pay whatever the tire store wants you to pay, or wait until the tire store orders one in. So one thing to know about ordering a tire is that this is the Model Y long range. All 4 wheels and tires are the same exact size, so I can rotate them. I can have one tire and it would fit on all 4 sides. Now the Model Y Performance, that's not the case. It has a staggered wheel set where the rear tires are a little bit wider than the front ones. So in that case, I would recommend having 2 tires, one that's going to fit one's going to fit the front, one that's going to fit the back. That way, if something happens to either of the tires, you at least have a backup set when that time comes. Now, you don't have to have a new set of tires. I found this on eBay for like $60. You can find some very good used ones, like on eBay, your local classified ads. Or when you go to replace your tires, maybe even a better option, when you go to replace your tires, tell the tire store you want to keep one of the tires as a spare and a backup in case something happens. Now, the third option, this is the option I'm going with, and that is buying a used rim that's going to fit your car. I found this on eBay. This is for the Model Y. It's a 20-inch, I guess they call it the induction wheel. It's blacked out. This thing's a little bit beat up. It does have some curb rash. It does have a little chipping here, but it's not cracked, it's not damaged, it's still perfectly usable. There's just some cosmetic damage. I found this on eBay for like, I think it was $130 on eBay, which was, I thought was a pretty good buy. And then I also found a tire that I'm going to put on there for, it was like $95. So I'm going to throw a wheel and tire on this rim, and I'm going to have a backup rim and tire if I ever have a problem or an issue with wheels or tires on my Model Y. Now, because I might use this wheel and tire if something happens, I want to get this refinished. There's a shop locally here that does powder coating. I can take that there. They'll probably do this for around $100. They'll completely strip this down, sand it down, fill in any of the cracks or any of the gouges, and just really make it look new. And so I'm going to do that. So total investment in the wheel is going to be about $230, and then around $100 tire I'm going to throw on this thing, and this will be ready to go. So if I ever have any issues or problems, I'll be able to throw this on there, and it'll look really good, and it'll match perfectly the other wheels. So guys, this isn't something that I'm going to carry with me. Once I get this wheel and tire all set up and it's ready to go on the car, I'm not going to carry this in the car. It's really not practical to carry this with me. What I'm doing is I'm just going to keep this in my garage, and then if I need to, I can throw it on if I have a flat. And then worst case scenario, if let's say I'm 15 miles from home, I can just call my wife, say, hey, bring that wheel to me, and I can swap it on if I get stranded somewhere. All right, guys, so before you buy any accessories for your car, make sure you invest in something like this that you're going to be able to use when an emergency happens. It's going to help keep your car on the road. You're not going to be stranded. Your car's not going to be sitting in your garage for 3 or 4 days till you order a new rim or a new tire. You're going to have that on hand. You can throw it on there, and you don't have to worry about wheel or tire issues when they come up. So really, it doesn't require a large investment to really just be prepared, having a wheel and tire ready to go in case something happens. Like I said, I got these used. I'm going to have these ready to go in case I need it. I may never use this, but if I don't ever use this and I sell the car or something, I can sell this separately. I'm not going to lose a whole lot of money by having this, but it's going to save me a lot of time, a lot of frustration. If something does happen, to know you got a backup, you can just throw it on and you're good to go. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching the video. I'll give an updated video when I get this back from the powder coaters and I get the wheel and tire installed. I'll go through all that, especially talking about the TPMS sensor and all that. This is going to be a fully functional wheel because I'm going to get it powder coated, get a Tesla TPMS sensor, the pressure sensor to put in here, get the tire on there, and I'm just going to store this in my garage so that way I have it. So, guys, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. If you're ordering a Tesla, guys, be sure to use my Tesla referral link down below. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.